Top of the sixth inning, Yankees leading 5-1. Ken Singleton back with Jim Cott. And I guess a little concerned now because Derek Jeter is going to leave the ball game, and we're going to have a replacement. He's been in every game and every inning this season. There goes Derek.
Stevie Donahue will take him up to the training room. Boy, that's got to be disappointing. You can see him wince even going down the stairs. I don't know if you've ever done that in the batter's box. I've seen some hitters do it where their feet kind of get locked and then their body try. That appeared to be what happened.
And you think of rib cage right away, or maybe a muscle pull, as Luis Sojo will take over at shortstop for Derek Jeter.
Yeah, this is a look at it. The front foot comes down, the back foot is still on the ground, and you can see Derek immediately point down to that oblique area, probably right around the hip bone. And he tries to shake it off. Can't do it.
Well, you know they're not going to take any chances with Derek Jeter and get some treatment on him right away. Yankees leading 5-1, a big 5-run outburst in the bottom of the fourth inning. All the scoring in the ball game came in the fourth. Tampa Bay got their run in the top half of the fourth inning. Here is Miguel Cairo. Slide to left and was called out on strikes. El Duque thus far is allowed to run on 3 hits. Starts him off with a breaking ball, popped to short left field. Coming on is Curtis, and Sojo can't get it. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So Sojo tested right away as he comes into the ball game.
And wouldn't you know, nothing against Luis Sojo, but it's a play that we see Jeter make with his great athletic ability. Chad Curtis, and you know this from being an outfielder, ball was on the end of the bat, and Chad took maybe just a half a step back, and that's all it took, and it just dropped in front of him.
That'll bring up Wade Boggs, who twice tonight has flied to the outfield. One to center, one to left. We mentioned Wade 167 hits away from the magic number of 3,000. Takes a pitch for a call strike. Tony Gwynn starts the night 150 hits short of 3,000.
The world's greatest hitter, Tony Gwynn.
He can hit. So a man on, nobody out. Just a little bit outside. Second time tonight that the Devil Rays have had the leadoff man on as we look at our New York Marriott Marquee matchup. Tony Saunders, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, struck out 6, only 1 walk. And Orlando Hernandez, 5 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. That breaking ball, that backdoor breaking ball has been very effective to the left-handed hitters. Looks like it takes just enough off.
And it will be in Yankee Stadium. I mean, the left-hand, if Wade Boggs or any lefty tries to pull that ball, it's not going to work. He's going to be able to use the biggest part of the ballpark. The only thing they can do is hit that to center or left center.
Sinker is fouled to the upper deck down the third base side.
What I like what he did last inning, and we got this on our advanced reports, is he went back behind the mound after he was in a little trouble, and the count went deep on the last hitter of the 5th inning. He went back behind the mound, took a little extra time to regroup, and they say he'll work at a different pace. He'll work with different motions, different arm angles.
Make the hitters wait a little bit longer, maybe get a bit anxious. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wade Boggs.
Pitch count up near 100, and that's why you saw Mel Stottlemyre on the telephone. I think the Yankees, they definitely want him to leave on a high note, so I don't think Joe Torre is going to have too long a leash on him.
And when you have a bullpen like the Yankees have, he runs some very effective pitches in there, including Graham Lloyd and Darren Holmes. 2-2 now on Boggs. Breaking ball line to left field, going to be a tough play for Curtis, and he makes it. Nice running catch by the Yankee left fielder. And Boggs still 167 hits away from 3,000.
Perfect positioning and well played. Chad Curtis. And when you see Mike Kelly and Quentin McCracken, their first experience in Yankee Stadium, struggle with some fly balls, you can appreciate how Curtis tracks him down. Right off the bat, he got a good first step and got it back into the second base in a hurry. This is to buy a little time, and while Mel is doing that, Kenny, we could tell the viewers that growing up in Cuba, you would think if you asked El Duque, who were some of your heroes? Was it Camilo Pascual, who was a great Cuban pitcher? But no, from watching games on television, his hero was Doc Gooden. That's who he really looked up to when Doc was in his glory days in the Mets. In fact, when we did our open, you could see number 16 on El Duque in the minor leagues at Columbus. And that constant blowing on the hand, it really tells you how, not to overstate it, but it definitely is a factor. For him, this is cool weather, and he's, I think, struggling a little bit with gripping the ball right now.
I can imagine what it was like up in the International League. I mean, they go to Ottawa, they go to, you know, Rochester. Some cool spots in the spring. Here's Fred McGriff, who has provided the Devil Rays with their only run, a home run in the 4th inning. 12th Major League season, selected by the Yankees in the 9th round of the '81 draft. 346 career home runs. Ball 2.
Yeah, after that last swing, I don't think the crime dog is going to see anything middle of the plate in.
So we saw the fact that he's hit 30 home runs with 3 different clubs. Nobody has ever hit 30 home runs with 4 different teams. Ball is popped high in the air to short left field. Coming on is Curtis. He has a beat on this one and puts it away on number 2. Another pitch out and away.
Right. Again, that's some insight into how El Duque is a pitcher. McGriff took him for a home run. The first 2 pitches missed, but he's going to make McGriff use the big part of Yankee Stadium. And even with all of Fred's power, he can't drive it over the left field wall on that one. That's just good pitching, and it's learning from the previous at bat.
Paul Sorrento, former Cleveland Indian, Minnesota Twin, and Seattle Mariner.
Wow.
A little extra on that fastball.
Dizzy Dean would say, reach back, got a little extra. And Paul Sorrento, when he came up with the Minnesota Twins, you referred to it, Kirby Puckett nicknamed him the Babe because he could turn on a fastball about as well as anyone.
A ball and a strike. Sorrento was actually with the Twins when they won the world title in 1991. And you got McGriff with the ball club that was with the Braves when they won in '95. And of course, Wade Boggs with the Yankees in '96. His ball hangs and it's driven towards the corner in right field. It's going to be in there for extra bases. We have to watch the runner from first, Cairo. He's going to be held at third. It's a ground rule double. So Sorrento with a 2-base hit. And with 2 outs, the Devil Rays have runners in scoring position against Orlando Hernandez.
Let's see where this one was. Posada wants it outside. I think it's going to come in and catch too much of the plate, and that's the danger zone for him. Yankees actually get a break. If that ball kicks around and caroms in the corner, I think the runner scores. Now he has to stop at third with 2 out.
Second and third for Mike Kelly. Call strike with the breaking ball. You can see how solid a ball club the Devil Rays are defensively. They're a pretty good defensive team. They got some speed in the outfield with Martinez and McCracken and Kelly. Stocker is very solid at short, but their problem has been run scoring. And maybe the lack of a solid rotation.
Yeah, the advance word on them, and talking with their coach Frank Howard, said we prepare to play the game as well as anyone. Minnesota Twins have always had that reputation. It's just the superstar talent isn't there. McGriff is a little on the downside of his career. I think they might be talking right now. They're talking about what sign they're using with a man on second. Soho quickly ran over to Chuck Knobloch to also check. Those middle infielders like to know what pitch is coming. If it's a curveball, they want to be able to cheat a step either way. And a little miscommunication between El Duque and Jorge.
A ball and a strike on Kelly. Breaking ball, had a good swing and fouled it back. Well, he mentioned how well Rolando Araujo has pitched. He is 8-3 on the season. Another Cuban pitcher. And the rest of the rotation is 10-25. And the first sentence in the story today in the St. Petersburg Times is about Rolando Araujo. They say it's 3 more days till he pitches. Tonight, it's Orlando Hernandez. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. Kelly's out on strikes. El Duque's out of trouble. We played 5.5 here at the stadium. El Duque, 5-1 Yankees.
What's Ansky?
What?
What the hell is Ansky?
Oh, I didn't do good at all.
Slide back. Hey, what is that? There you go. Nice, right?
Yanks.
Yanks.
Yeah!
Oh,
Let's go!
God.
All right!
Dumb son of a...
Davis roadside assistance.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I hit this huge nail.
Sounds like you've got a bigger problem.
My 2-year-old's hungry and I don't have a thing.
It's a flat. She's on Route 201 near Pine. Oh, and bring some crackers. That's right, crackers.
Avis cars come with Avis people, and trying harder is what they do
Hi.
best.
I'm gonna change the tire, and here's something for the little one.
We try harder, Avis.
So, you want to see my Discover Card statement? I am very, very prissy.
Put up or shut up!
I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to Discover. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Nobody does it like you.
To deep clean your carpet and upholstery, you can get a Hoover Steam Vac Ultra and pay once. Or pay these guys
Nobody
every time.
does it like you.
The Yankees half of the 6th inning. They lead it 5-1. And fans, next week, interleague play returns to the MSG network as Tino Martinez and the Bombers head north of the border to battle the Montreal Expos Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Then on Wednesday, the Yanks continue their assault on the National League with another 7 o'clock. That'll be another 7 o'clock game in Montreal. It's the Yankees versus the Expos. Lined up for you next week on MSG. Please check your local listings. Here's Tino Martinez to lead it off for the Yankees in the 6th. So far, Tino's been kind of quiet against Tony Saunders. Has flied out and struck out. Martinez, Raines, Curtis for the Yankees here in their half of the 6th inning. Up and in. 3 balls and no strikes. When you look at it, Kitty, Tony Saunders really has only had 1 bad inning in this game.
That 2-out walk, and then I thought, even though they're balls that maybe you can't say they should have been caught, but they could have been caught by Kelly and McCracken.
3-0 pitch. Tino swings and lines it foul. Boy, Joe Torre's turning people loose. 3-0, turning them loose on the bases, leading off the inning.
Well, I think Joe knows that from being an outstanding hitter himself. Saunders throws a lot of breaking stuff, so he's saying this is where Tino is going to get a fastball, and he got one.
A little too quick. Back to the breaking ball, 3-2. You know, we mentioned Saunders every other inning but the first. He gave up a single in the first, faced 4 men, faced 3 men in the second, 3 men in the third, 3 in the fifth, but 9 in the fourth. Ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to Tino Martinez. Let's go back to the end of last inning as Rick Williams goes to the phone here, and look at the ovation that El Duque gets from his teammates. David Cohn, Wells, Hideki, Posada. Chuck Knobloch.
And I think they were all impressed, particularly the pitchers. David Cohn and David Wells were talking to each other about the last pitch that El Duque threw Mike Kelly. And again, he is so aware of what he wants to do and how to do it. He threw Mike Kelly all those curveballs, and then what did he get him out with? Zip, little fastball, knee high in the outside corner, just changed the pattern on him.
Here's Tim Raines, who is grounded out and singled and scored. That was in the 4th. Mike DeFelice out to the mound to talk to Tony Saunders. And it looks as though, you know, still Sotomayor checking with El Duque and to see if he's okay to go one more. Un poquito.
Jose's out on the line. He can't interpret for him right now. He's looking at a decade. No, we know habla español.
It's just a ball of Raines. 3 balls and no strikes on Tim Raines after a leadoff walk to Tito Martinez. Chad Curtis is on deck.
Yeah, for the last few years, the Dodgers have had that, you know, the acronym, the IHOP rotation. I think you can look at the Yankees now with Hideki and Ramiro Mendoza from Panama, and now El Duque from. And you got Boomer from, we don't know where he's from.
Graham Lloyd, yeah, from Australia. It goes to show you how international baseball is getting. I mean, they're getting players from all over the world now because there's more teams. There's a call strike, and the count is full on Raines at 3-2. And the teams that have the best worldwide scouting, I know the Atlanta Braves are heavy into it. The Marlins are. I don't know if they will be in the future. Maybe they'll cut back some. But the Yankees have been. Those are the teams that are going to do the best. Full count. We'll see if Tino Martinez is running. He's not going, and the pitch to Raines is in the dirt. Knocked down by DeFelice. And Tino can trot to second as Raines trots to first with the 2nd consecutive walk here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And Larry Rothschild's going to have to make a pitching change. Tony Saunders, he pitches well, but too many base runners, too many walks, full counts, doesn't trust his fastball enough in those situations, and Larry Rothschild has to make a change.
Well, Saunders will leave with nobody out. He leaves 2 runners here in the 6th inning. 96 pitches for Saunders. We'll be back with more here in the bottom of the 6th inning in just a moment.
This commercial is rated H for high laughter content. It contains adult language.
You're a dirty old man, you know that? And I'm gonna be one till I'm a dead old man.
And the irascible Fred Sanford on video.
These twins is waiting to meet your lips.
Sanford & Son, the collector's edition. Your first video is only $4.95 with subscription and contains 4 hilarious episodes. It includes graphic content.
Say, what does sangria mean? It means blood.
And it's partially available in Espanol.
Buenos dias, huh? And beans and disease to you.
Sanford & Son, your first 4-episode video is only $4.95 with subscription.
Oh, this is the biggest one I ever had. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey.
To get your first video of Sanford & Son, the collector's edition, for only $4.95 plus $3.79 shipping and handling, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-858-3434.
ReTV, America's keeper of classic TV.
Where's technology going? Photonics, pharmaceuticals, biotech. They're coming to Connecticut to grow. Software companies here are growing faster than in Silicon Valley itself. Since January of '96, more than 450 high-tech firms were launched from here in Connecticut, capitalizing on some of the most highly skilled workers in the world. Call us and see how much power we can put behind your business.
Another lefty in the ball game for Tampa Bay. It's going to be Scott Aldred, and before we see him pitch, fight fans, this Saturday, June 6th, the heavyweight championship of the world returns to Madison Square Garden. The real deal. Evander Holyfield is set to defend his heavyweight title against 6'7" giant. That's Henry Akinwande. That'll be at the Mecca. Holyfield joins Ali, Frazier, Lewis, Dempsey, and Holmes as the only heavyweight champs to defend their title at the Garden. Tickets for this June 6th event That'll be the championship of the world. They're on sale now at the Garden Box Office and all Ticketmaster locations. The real deal. El Duque.
Yeah. Boy, he has been. That's Scott Aldred. And the Yankees now, they've seen about 5 left-hand pitchers this week of a similar variety. And Aldred is right in that column. Not a hard thrower anymore. Was when he came up with the Tigers, but he depends on off-speed stuff. Pitched for the Minnesota Twins last year.
Started the year at AAA Durham. And now recalled to the big leagues. This is his 7th appearance. Pitches outside, ball 1 to Chad Curtis. 2 men on, nobody out for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead by 4. It is 5-1. Tino Martinez at second. Tim Raines at first. No sign of a bunt by Chad Curtis on that first pitch. To the corner, 1-1.
Now the Yankees have such a productive bottom 3rd. I think Joe Torre is saying, I'm not going to bunt Curtis and then have him walk Jorge Posada and send Brocious up there. We pointed out last night the difference between the bottom 3rd of the batting orders. When you stack the Yankees up against most other American League teams, they come out well ahead. Twice as many home runs, twice as many RBIs.
Aldred taking his time getting the signs. Call strike to Chad Curtis, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
That would also factor into the decision by Joe Torre to remove El Duque. If the Yankees were to put a couple more runs on the board and have a long half inning on, for him, a cool night, I don't think they'd send him back out in the 7th inning.
As of now, there's nobody warming up in the bullpen, so it looks like he's the man at this point. Knocked down by DeFelice, who makes a good stop.
And you were talking about the international flavor of baseball, and I think that's one of the reasons, whether you agree with him or not. Scott Boras, the agent for J.D. Drew, is talking about if you were not a United States citizen but went to Costa Rica like El Duque did, you can sign as a free agent and not be a part of the draft. So Major League Baseball has to address that. Is there going to be an international draft or eliminate it completely?
Curtis swings, ground ball towards the middle. Stocker knocks it down, gets the force at second. That's all they'll get. So a nice play by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays shortstop Kevin Stocker, the former Philadelphia Philly. And Tampa Bay does get 1 out.
Again, showing how well they play in the field. He didn't field it cleanly, but locates it, flips it to Cairo, and they get the lead runner, keep the double play in order. Takes a base hit away from Chad Curtis.
Now you mentioned the international flavor of baseball, and the fact is the draft originally was just in the United States, in the States itself. Then it expanded to Canada, expanded to Puerto Rico, and now, as you said, it might become an international thing. But that means a lot more scouting, doesn't it?
Right.
Here's Jorge Posada, who drove in 2 runs with a single in the 4th inning. Another chance to drive in some runs. Call strike, low and on the outside corner. Good pitch by the lefty. And one thing Posada has done too, like Jeter, he has opened up his stance just a bit. And you still maintain the ability to drive the ball the other way like he did last night on that catch by Mike Cameron. See, what you do is you step in with this foot and get your power going in the other direction. There's that swing. Somebody missed the sign.
we had Tino Martinez breaking off third base like he was anticipating a squeeze play.
That was the Dr. Kevorkian play, assisted suicide.
Yeah. See, Tino, here he comes. Jorge didn't have that sign. Now, Tino had it because Willie Randolph walked over and whispered, every team has a word sign, so that the runner on third knows it's on.
Cat is 0-2 on Posada. Ball and 2 strikes.
And if you're saying, well, Posada has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but if you're Joe Torre, you're saying, I want to get that 5th run. Late in the game, managers love to get that 5-run lead to eliminate the grand slam tie in the game, and that's what that run would have provided the Yankees.
I wonder if they have a little talk with Posada when he goes back to the bench.
If you, at the end of the year, you'd be amazed if you added up, went to every big league manager and said, you keep track of how many signs are missed? And you know all the time we spent in spring training going over the signs time after time. And yet, even on the big league level, there's a high percentage of them that are missed.
There goes Curtis. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second, not in time. Chad Curtis steals second base. DeFelice got the ball down there in a hurry. He's got a strong arm.
Boy, he really did. It was this jump. Watch Chad Curtis. From the time Aldred picks up his leg, Chad is off. So even though DeFelice made a nice strong throw, watch him come out of the blocks. Quick turn and plenty on it. He did his part, but Curtis had just too quick a start.
The force of the throw, just that mass came right off the head of DeFelice. Stolen base number 9 for Chad Curtis. Now runners at second and third with 2 outs, and Scott Brosius swings here. There's a shot towards the corner. Kelly's not going to get it. It's to the wall. The Yankees are going to get 2 more runs. Scott Brosius with his second consecutive double, and now has 4 runs batted in on the night. It's 7-1 Yankees. The bottom of the lineup. Has he been a pickup for the Yankees or what?
Coming into this game, we mentioned the bottom third as Brosius rifles that in the corner and picks up, as you mentioned, Kenny, 4 RBIs. The bottom third for the Yankees, a quick count tells me they've got 86 RBIs. You factor that and compare it to the Devil Rays. Their bottom third, 9 home runs and 37 RBIs, and that's kind of the story with most teams in the American League. But Curtis, Posada, and Brosius, I think they might be talking about that squeeze play sign.
Well, maybe stealing second, got into scoring position and scored.
I have a feeling it might be even a little deeper than that. What got lost on that play to second base is I think Chad Curtis thought Stocker caught the ball in the air, and he had pulled up a little short at first. I think Joe was reminding him, run hard through the bag.
Frank Howard and Steve Henderson. Pitch to Knobloch is a little bit high.
We might even, since the Devil Rays are down a few late in the ball game, we might even see ex-Yankee Jim Messier. He's also a part of this Devil Ray bullpen.
A little more room for El Duque, and Mike Stanton gets up. There's that cushion you were talking about. Call strike 2.
Well, and it's been a long half inning, and Stanton's up because Martinez is a left-hand hitter. He leads it off. Stocker's a switcher, but he's better from the left side, so it looks like Stanton's going to get the 7th inning. What a way to break in. And talk about acting like you've done it before. I mean, he just cool as the other side of the pillow. He said, I've been here before. I knew I could do this.
Count is now full on Knobloch, and like I've said many times before, they just should send him up there with a 3-2 count. As good as anybody in the league at working a pitcher to this point in the count. 3-2. Payoff pitch. Ball strike 3. Good pitch by Aldred. Knobloch is called out on strikes. Aldred picks up his 2nd strikeout of the inning, but 2-run score. Looks El Duque is headed for the hill in the top of the 7th. Yankees lead 7-1.
The City Hawks have landed. Catch all the nonstop action as the Garden Zone battle it out against the Tampa Bay Storm. Saturday night on MSG.
Fox Sports.
Well, boys, read 'em and weep. Full house.
Oh, man.
Hey, I feel lucky today. Went for my checkup, got a clean bill of health.
You mean your yearly prostate exam?
Come on, it's not that bad. Listen, when you're over 50, it's a must.
Not for me.
The Prostate Center of New Jersey recommends annual prostate exams for men 50 and over.
Danny boy, you never know what kind of hand you could be dealt.
Call the Prostate Center of New Jersey today.
Daydreams. Oh, the places they can take you. At Union Center National Bank, we've got ways to help make dreams like this come true. Like our Prime Time Equity Line. It sets your borrowing rate at prime for life. You don't need daydreams. All you need is a bank with a heart. Union Center, the very best in community banking.
Club CD offers deep discounts on every CD in the store every day. This week at Compact Disc World, check out the debut record from Black Lab, Your Body Above Me. On sale now for $11.88 with Club CD. Or join the sexual revolution with the brand new CD from Girls Against Boys, Free Conica. Also on sale, just $8.88 with Club CD.
No apocalypse.
On sale now at all Compact Disc World locations.
Well, there's a look at the city that never sleeps, and here's a look at the National Finance Corporation Skycam. National Finance Corporation, homeowners, lower your monthly payments. Apply by phone. That's 1-800-LOAN-NFC. I don't know how much sleep he'll get tonight.
No. He's stretching that arm out. I thought that Joe Torre and our producer Leon Schreier pointed out that Hideki Irabu's debut. Joe went out and took him. Maybe he'll let him face one hitter because Stanton has been throwing down there prepared for the lefties. But you remember when Hideki broke in against the Tigers, he was allowed to go to the mound and then taken out so the fans could give him an ovation and he could enjoy it.
Dave Martinez, breaking ball in the dirt. Martinez has singled. The first Devil Ray hit at Yankee Stadium as Mike Stanton continues to warm in the bullpen. And Martinez then struck out in the 5th inning. Ball strike, 1-1. I think you pointed this out last year, Kitty, with Martinez, the way he actually sets up with his bat, and he grips the bat and takes the same margin as he chokes up on the bat, using his fingers to set his hands. Swings at a changeup, 1-2.
And when you see a hitter, as El Duque looks at Martinez, you see a hitter with that flat bat, he's telling you he's a high ball hitter.
See how he puts the 2 fingers below the bottom hand?
Yeah.
Then puts the top hand up there every time. Shows him a high fastball, and the count is 2-2.
He looks with his motion and his demeanor and his pace that if he had to, he could pitch 18 innings. I mean, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that just wears down. He's just the same every pitch, every inning.
Breaking ball lifted high in the air to right field. Plenty of room for Paul O'Neill. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Now a right-handed hitter, Mike DeFelice, will come to the plate.
Don't know how closely they'll monitor El Duque's pitch count because, like I say, he's a veteran. But it is about 105 right now.
One thing you notice, too, about him being a veteran, he's called off Posada a few times.
Oh, he's shaking, 4 or 5 times on one pitch, shaking off sign and location.
You don't see that from a raw rookie. Curveball for a call strike. The rookies will go with what the veteran catcher is going to call, at least the catcher who has more experience. You see him shaking him off every once in a while. Not this time. A ball and a strike.
I wonder what the hitters will comment on after the game about how difficult it has been to pick up the ball with that high leg. He does such a good job of hiding the ball till the last moment. Boggs might have a comment on it.
That's a strike. Foul to the right side of 1-2.
if I remember right, hitters have always told me, Harmon Killebrew, Carew Oliva, that they make a little rectangular box right where the ball is coming out of the pitcher's hand. Like, say, right in here, they'll draw a little box, and that's where they're looking for the ball. But with him, you don't see it right away.
Well, also, he changes angles, too.
Right.
A ball and 2 strikes. Fans looking for the strikeout. Not this time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look at our Devil Ray box score on the night. Paul Sorrento with a couple of hits. He's the only one with a multiple hit game going for Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. There's a different arm angle. Strikeout number 6 for Orlando Hernandez.
Yeah, the El Duques on the facade. And again, this a little lower. Something that the Devil Rays haven't seen. He gives every hitter just a little different look. You can tell he's been a starting pitcher. He's had to work through batting orders, 3 and 4 times against some pretty good hitters.
Make that strikeout number 7. Stocker chases.
Look at the movement on this pitch.
There's a changeup.
Looked like an off-speed pitch.
One hopper back to the mound. Going to be an easy inning here in the 7th. 1, 2, 3 for El Duque. Nothing across for the Devil Rays. Listen to the ovation.
Jeep Cherokee has always been the perfect getaway vehicle. But now, look what you can get away with. The $279 a month Jeep Cherokee lease, where you get 190 horses, automatic transmission, and always capable 4-wheel drive. Plus now these extras, including air conditioning at no extra charge. The $279 a month Jeep Cherokee lease. A great deal to get away with when you really want to get away from it all.
Check out this $279 lease at your dealer.
Everybody's smiling thanks to Nobody Beats the Wiz and their huge selection of camcorders with LCD screens, digital stabilization, and stereo sound from Sony, Panasonic, Sharp, and more, starting at $399. And for the latest in cameras, smile, because there's autofocus, flash, zoom, and easy load from Minolta, Canon, Fuji, and more. Now use the Wiz Privilege Plus card and get 90 days with no money down, no interest, no payments, and no minimum purchase. Smile at Nobody Beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Where's technology going? Photonics, pharmaceuticals, biotech. They're coming to Connecticut to grow. Software companies here are growing faster than in Silicon Valley itself. Since January of '96, more than 450 high-tech firms were launched from here in Connecticut, capitalizing on some of the most highly skilled workers in the world. Call us and see how much power we can put behind your business.
As we come back to the stadium, just a reminder that New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Heineken. Brewed true since 1886. Seek the truth. Luis Sojo is going to lead it off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 7th as El Duque heads to the clubhouse.
We're not going to see the curtain call, but you'll sure hear him with Al Troutwig, maybe with an interpreter on the postgame show.
And it's a base hit into center field for Luis Sojo.
And if you just tuned in and say, what's Sojo doing playing shortstop? Well, it's because of this. Derek Jeter's last at bat, you see him plant the foot, try to check the swing, and then immediately grimace and grab his side. And the word we get is a strained abdominal muscle. We don't know the severity of it yet, but he did have to leave the ball game. And as Joe Torre said, he is our most valuable player. There said this even in 1996. Jeter is one guy they could not go a long period of time without in that lineup.
Ball 1 to O'Neill, who is 1 for 3 on the night, extended a hitting streak to 11 games with a base hit. That came in the 4th inning. The Yankees 5-run 4th inning. That'll leave the count at 1-1. Kind of shows you the type of hitter that O'Neill has been. Kitty, you've mentioned the Yankees have faced left-hander after left-hander in this stretch. And there's the target for O'Neill out in the bleachers in right field. They are a night late. They should have been here last night.
It went out there in the corner.
Out and away, and he swings and misses. 1-2.
See, now that was a breaking ball away. It's 2 strikes. If I'm looking down the barrel of Paul O'Neill as a pitcher, I'm saying early in the count, I'm not going to pitch him inside too much. He's ready. But now, when it's 2 strikes, watch him cover that outside part of the plate. Then he becomes a different styled hitter.
It looks like you have room out there. And that pitch may be to move him back a bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's our Yankee box score. Scott Brocious at the bottom there. 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles. 4 runs batted in. Posada has 2 with a 2-run single in the 4th inning. O'Neill, a bouncer right back to Aldred. Throws a second. Stocker with a nice piece of footwork and on to first for the double play. Throw was offline, but Stocker made the play in the middle as he turned it over for the double play.
And Scott Aldred did his homework on Paul O'Neill. Instead of going away with 2 strikes, he kept coming right inside. Look at the movement. You could see the spin on that ball. And he tied O'Neill up. Nice throw to Stocker and plenty of time to complete the double play.
That footwork, that little dance step around the bag at second, nicely done by Stocker. But the reputation in Philadelphia is good field, no hit. Here's Bernie Williams. Good field, good hit.
And fans that just heard my comment about not being without Jeter for a while, and they might say, well, what about Bernie Williams or Paul O'Neill or Tino? And they're all very valuable to this ball club. But Jeter is a guy in that shortstop position that handles the ball on so many plays, covers a lot of ground, plus he's hitting in a spot in the lineup, active on the bases. He just does so many things that I think he's one guy that this club would really suffer from being without for a while.
Slow roller. If it stays fair and trouble, it's going to go foul.
Not to put him in this category, but he is a good shortstop. But Gary DiSarcina, a few years ago, the Angels were on their way to winning the West, and he was injured. They lost him for, I think, the rest of the season that year.
Yeah.
They weren't the same ball club.
Did he fracture a finger or his wrist? And they went straight downhill. 2-1 on Bernie. Nice pitch to the corner. 2-2. Well, Jeter tonight had a couple of hits. Got that rally going in the 4th inning with a leadoff triple. Scored another run. And if you're a Yankee fan, you hope that it was just a mild strain. Did that hit Bernie? Maybe not. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is run full.
If it did, he's not going to tell Larry McCoy, right-hand hitter, left-hand pitcher, he wants to swing that bat. Blocked by DeFelice. Looks like it just missed that back foot.
Time to do business. Count is full at 3-2. Bernie checks his swing. Did he go around too far? No, the appeal is denied by first base umpire Mark Johnson. Bernie is aboard with a base on balls. And Tino Martinez will come to the plate to face the left-hander Scott Aldred.
Well, good for you. And you got an extra treat by doing that to see the debut of El Duque. I thought that last at-bat, Kenny, was a good example of what we talk about this Yankee lineup. 7-1, 7th inning, 2 out, nobody on, 3-2. Fairly close pitch. Bernie could have waved at it, but he kept that same discipline and drew a base on balls.
That's why he's among the league leaders in walks and on base percentage. Pitches high for a ball. And what it also does, it puts more pressure on the pitcher. You have a runner on base, another tough hitter to the plate. He's just got through walking somebody, and he might be looking to throw a strike, and he might catch too much of the plate. These Yankee hitters set each other up throughout the lineup. Swung on and hit in the air to left field. Mike Kelly is there, and he hauls it in. Yankees fail to score in the bottom of the 7th, but they do have a 6-run lead as Mike Stanton will be coming out of the bullpen to take over the pitching chores for the Yankees. We're headed to the 8th inning. It's 7-1 Yanks.
Hiya, son.
Hi, Dad.
I'm off to work now.
Okay, Dad.
With complete 24-hour service, Geico Auto Insurance starts working on your claim immediately.
Be careful with her.
We'll get you back in your car quickly, so you won't have to rely on alternate transportation. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's an island where the waters are still, where the only thing you have to do is lie on your back, watching the waves rush in and out all day long, and where you'll need to go to recover after you return from our trip. Enter the Heineken Seek a True Adventure Sweepstakes, and you can win a trip to Costa Rica, Thailand, Mexico, or South Africa. And while you're at it, you might want to book your recovery vacation.
Top of the 8th inning, the Yankees lead it by 6, and El Duque. What a night it has been for Orlando Hernandez. His night has finished 117 pitches. And while Stanton warms up, we'll check out our Aflac Trivia Quiz. The only man to be named MVP and Manager of the Year. Well, I think that's pretty easy to get.
Yeah,
but we'll give you a few minutes to get it. They did not, Joe did not opt to send El Duque to the mound for the curtain call, but the way he pitched tonight, Joe probably figures he'll get plenty of applause from this Yankee Stadium crowd, and I think it'll be real interesting on our Jeep Eagle postgame report to figure if Al brings Jorge Posada or Jose Cardinal in there to interpret, just to get a little insight into the experience of El Duque in his major league debut.
Nice round of applause for El Duque, and as he left the ball game in the 7th.
Saw Stanton's numbers, very effective. One of the few times Mike stumbled was coming in 2 nights ago with a walk and a hit batsman, and the Yankees still came back and won that game. McCracken now from the left side of the plate will step in, or rather the right side, against the left-hander. In for a strike, and we hope you were with us the entire game, but if you weren't, you've missed a remarkable story here at Yankee Stadium. 28-year-old Orlando Hernandez, who earlier this year, as they're taking down the El Duques, hit well left field. Curtis on the run near the track. Looks like he's got it measured, and he does. 1 down.
I think one thing when you're a left fielder or a center fielder here at Yankee Stadium and a ball is hit towards the gap in left center, you know it's going to be a while before you get to a wall. So you can run as hard as you can for a long way and make the catch. And still, he was short of the warning track.
Perfectly timed as Cairo steps in. Strike 1. Good pop on the fastball, as Al Troutwig pointed out in the open of our telecast, where El Duque had come from that 19-foot boat escaping from Cuba, spending some time in Costa Rica, which is one hop out toward Knobloch, and Cairo will be thrown out, 2 down in the Devil Ray 8th. Lynn Garrett, the scout for the Yankees, was a guy that Brian Cashman really relied on his insight. And the immediate report was this guy could be a number 4 or 5 starter in the Yankees starting rotation. I mean, the Yankees might have a 6-man rotation now. Who are they going to replace with him? But all the scouting reports that Lynn Garrett filed were certainly accurate, and all the advance information we had on Hernandez. Boggs takes inside for a ball. The good breaking pitches, the fact that he was a complete pitcher and great mound poise, and not only command of the mound of his pitches, but just of his whole demeanor. You know, like he pitched in the big leagues for 10 years. Check swing. Brocious on a couple of hops, and Stanton will have an easy 8th inning. We're headed to the Yankee half of the 8th. Yankees on top, 7-1.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
These days, trying to get on top of your financial situation is getting tougher and tougher. What you need is someone with experience and know-how. The MetLife rep can help you get a grip on things and help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
The most award-winning brand of 4x4s has done it again. Presenting Jeep Grand Cherokee, just named Best Sport Utility. And now you can lease the leader with a special $319 a month leadership lease or get 1.9% financing. Grand Cherokee, highest in owner loyalty, and now named Best Sport Utility. No wonder year after year, Grand Cherokee always winds up on top. Check out this $319 lease at your dealer.
There's a team up in the Bronx that is really out of sight. They can hit a ball from home plate all the way to Jackson Heights. Every adult, every child, all the fans are going wild. Yankee baseball, where are you?
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by National Finance Corporation. Homeowners, lower your monthly payments. Apply by phone 1-800-LOAN-NFC. El Duque won't be calling that number. Coming from Cuba, earning $8 a month to sign the 4-year, $6 million contract with the Yankees. And if tonight's any example, the money might be well spent. Tim Raines takes the breaking ball high. Ball 1. And I think if his pitching continues along with Arabu, it's going to put a new slant on the amateur draft and the money that teams pay. That's on the edge for a strike. Here's a case of a J.D. Drew trying to get $11 million after playing college ball. And you look at Arabu and El Duque, who have pitched in much tougher competition, much more seasoned. Is your money better spent there? Tapped out to the mound. Aldred will throw out Raines, 1 down in the Yankee 8th. Here's the answer to our Aflac trivia question. I think most of you Yankee fans, unless I'm wrong, I think they might get that. The only man to be named MVP and Manager of the Year. Yep. Not in '96 when the Yankees won the World Series, but in 1982 when his Atlanta Braves got off to a 13-0 start and went to the National League Championship Series. And in '71, I think Joe hit .363, which for a guy that doesn't get a lot of leg hits is some kind of average.
With the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep. Curtis, that walk that you see in his hitting line, that might have been the biggest at bat of the game. That was back in the 4th inning with 2 out. And the game was tied at 1, change-up low, and he worked out a walk. And before the inning was over, the Yankees had 5 runs.
Keeping the inning going, setting it up for the guys behind you. And they came through. Posada with a single, and Brosius with a double.
Discussion about hitting on the Yankee bench. In for a strike. The crowd tonight just announced, and whether El Duque had an influence on it, I don't know, but with the White Sox here the last couple nights, there was 19,000, 22,000 tonight, 27,000. So I think maybe the attraction of him making his major league debut is responsible for a few extra fans. Posada waits on deck. Jorge had a big 2-out, 2-run single in that 5-run 4th. Off the plate, Curtis draws another walk. That bottom 3rd. I think we'll on one of our upcoming MSG telecasts, we'll sort of compare the bottom 3rds of the batting orders around the American League, and you'll really see how productive Curtis, Posada, and Brosius, and even when Joe Girardi's in there, the average goes down, but what hits Joe does get are usually quite productive.
Man, he's over 300 runners in scoring position, right. So I think you got to come up with a nickname for the bottom 3rd.
The Yankees as a team are hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position as a team. That's unheard of. First pitch to Posada outside for a ball. Joe's got the night off and enjoying it with his buddies in the bullpen, along with Gary Tuck, the catching instructor for the Yankees.
Tony Clottinger, bullpen coach.
Fouled out of play, 1-1. Pitchers for tomorrow night, Devil Rays in one of these 2-game series again. Devil Rays will be here. Hideki Irabu, and the Yankees have seen a lot of soft tossing lefties lately. Tomorrow night they're going to get a look at a knuckleballer, Dennis Springer. A chance to visit with Hideki and his interpreter George Rose a bit before the game, and you can see every day how he's becoming more animated, more comfortable trying to communicate and speak English.
You know, there's going to be a all-star tour by American League and National League players of Japan of this fall, November. And Hideki knows about it. He wants to be a part of that tour and pitch in a Yankee uniform in Japan.
Imagine. Wow. Would that be huge? Foul ball, 2-2. Be like going over to Havana and have El Duque pitch.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That Tokyo Dome will be packed.
Of course, prior to the 60s, I would say Castro came in, I believe, in '58 from Fulgencio Batista. Grounded towards short. Stocker with a nice play to Cairo. Look at that double play. Boy, those guys are slick. Quite a contrast from what the White Sox did in the last couple of nights. Stocker and Cairo. Double play ends the inning. We're heading to the 9th. El Duque could get his first win. It's 7-1.
Newark Paint, New Jersey's leading source for paint and hardware, presents Arizona Ralph and the Benjamin Moore Paint. The continuing adventures of Ralph Ventry in his never-ending quest to bring you the finest Benjamin Moore products. No sacrifice is too small. No challenge is too great. Newark Paint in Irvington, where shopping for paint and supplies doesn't have to be an adventure.
For cutting-edge sound security and mobile communication, Installations Unlimited sells and installs a wide variety of name brands. Our sales and installation staff are professional and knowledgeable. We're experts in mobile electronics. At Installations Unlimited, you'll find vehicle security systems by Clifford and Prestige. Protect your investment, yourself, and most of all, your family. Check out our remote starters. Start your car from inside your home or office.
We'll make your car swing. Installations Unlimited.
Imagine seeing this without these. Imagine seeing this without these. Imagine waking up to this every day. Vision correction with the Excimer laser, an outpatient procedure that can clearly change your life forever. For more information, call Parsippany Eye Care Associates at 316-5400.
Crisp evening as you see the lights sparkling in the distance from our sky cam here at the stadium, and we remind you that you can catch all the action as these same Marlins, or the Florida Marlins rather, visit the stadium for 3 games this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Devil Rays will be here again tomorrow night. Saturday, water bottle day. Note the starting time, 4 o'clock, and then Sunday at 1:30, always popular bat day. Tickets available at the stadium ticket windows, Ticketmaster, clubhouse stores, and on the web, www.yankees.com. Mike Stanton 3 outs away from capping off a wonderful evening here at the stadium when Orlando El Duque Hernandez made his major league debut and stands to get his first major league win. And as that inning ended, Kenny, I was talking about in the late 50s, it was so popular for American players to play winter baseball in Cuba for Cienfuegos, Almendares. That was a popular spot to go. And of course, a team that I played for years, the Minnesota Twins, we were stocked with some outstanding Cuban players. Tony Oliva, Pedro Ramos, Camilo Pascual. Ramos also pitched for the Yankees.
Pascual, one of the outstanding curveballs in history. And remember when Havana used to be part of the International League, as well as Toronto, for that matter.
The Sugar Kings? Wasn't it? One time there was the Havana Cuban Giants, and I think there was the
Havana Sugar
Kings. Yeah. Strike one to McGriff. Responsible for the only Tampa Bay run. In fact, the longest drought of Fred McGriff's career, 111 at-bats without a home run until he homered off Orlando Hernandez. 2 quick strikes. Stanton sharp tonight. He is most nights. Celebrated his 31st birthday yesterday.
Back in the International League, there was Havana, Toronto, Montreal, Jersey City.
Curveball grounded toward first base. Tino Martinez is there. The toss to Stanton in time. 1 down in the Tampa Bay ninth. Throw a few numbers at you. The Yankees, if they cap off this win, they will be 21-5 at home. That's the best record. They'll be 34-5 when they score at least 4 runs. That's the best percentage in baseball. Probably get all that information after the Yankee games if you join us on the MSG Sports Desk for all the news, scores, and highlights. Bill Daughtry will cover that. Then in case you missed that coverage, tune in at midnight. Extensive coverage of the national sports scene. Maybe a little round ball you'd like to find out about, as well as Yankee and Met highlights. That's at midnight on Fox Sports News.
Kenny, I bet you didn't know that Bill Daughtry was my homie.
No, I didn't know that. Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon,
all
yeah.
Right.
Grew up about 2 blocks away from where I lived. He's more a contemporary of my brother. I'll admit he's a little younger than I am.
Ball and a strike to Sorrento.
Doesn't look like it on camera, but
I think he's listening.
Yeah, he probably is.
Wants equal time. Outside for a ball. El Duque with 7 strikeouts tonight in 7 innings of work. And every inning, yeah, they were here flying the Cuban flag and posting the El Duques. Good swing, fouled off, 2-2. Every inning, it was just so smooth, so fluid, no sign of laboring. from one pitch to the next. Duke. Of course, that could be for Quentin McCracken, the Tampa Bay center fielder.
Or leftover Brooklyn Dodger man, Duke Snyder.
Right. Got him. Wow. I mean, that's as good a fastball as I've seen Mike Stanton throw. That had some heat on it.
Not only some heat, but he placed it in a good spot. Had it upstairs, or Serrano couldn't get to it. This is one of, you get back to the bench, he said, just fogged me on that one. Just blew it right by me.
Linda Ronstadt blew by you. 1 out away from Orlando Hernandez' first major league win. Mike Kelly stands in the way of that. The first pitch is a strike. Let's see. I guess if he stays in the rotation, it'll happen in Montreal, which is going to be so much the opposite of the atmosphere here. But it would be interesting to see his next start at the stadium. El Duque, quickly 0-2. That'll be our next telecast next Tuesday on MSG. The Yankees and the Expos in New York City Marriott's Yankee Scorecard Show at 6:30. Well, El Duque's not out there, but they're up for Mike Stanton and flying and flashing the Cuban flag.
Well, there's one star in that. And Mike Stanton from Texas, Lone Star State.
In the dirt, 1-2. Saw that shot of Wade Boggs if you joined us later. Very warm ovation he received in his first at bat coming back to Yankee Stadium after playing here for the previous 5 years.
You can see on the veteran's face, you never get used to losing.
Tap toward third, and that'll go foul, and Kelly will stay alive. Still 1-2. Yankees would win their 40th game. The Braves were ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. They would have 42 wins, but the Yankees would by far the best winning percentage in the major leagues. They missed Mariano Rivera for a period of time. David Cone misses his start. Now Derek Jeter probably miss a couple games with that abdominal muscle, but the machine rolls on.
Like Joe said, they're focused.
Fouled out of play, still 1-2. Now the Tampa Bay Devil Rays were true to their advanced billing. You know, they're a solid team in the field. They have some good pitching. Saunders didn't pitch as poorly as that 5-run fourth inning indicates. And they just don't have a lot of sock in their lineup right now. The potential is there. Just off the edge, 2-2.
And when you're on a ball club that plays in a stadium as they do at home, which is a pretty good hitting park. They are out hit at home. Their record on the road, if they lose tonight, they drop one game under 500 on the road. So they have had more success away from home.
Little soft liner, and Tino can't quite reach it. So that'll prolong the at bat a little more. El Duque probably waiting down in the Yankee clubhouse right now to greet all of his teammates. What will be his first major league win.
With a 6-run lead, no lack of effort.
Nope. And speaking of debuts, the top of the telecast showed you Yankee pitchers that have made their major league debut in recent times, and the winning percentage is actually the only starter. The only starter recently that actually lost is when Mariano Rivera was tested as a starting pitcher. But the last 4 that have done it have all won. In the dirt, and the count's gone full. So major league debuts by Yankee starting pitchers, foreign born. The last 6
Starting with Mark Hutton.
Domingo Jean, Mariano Rivera, Ramiro Mendoza, Rabu, and now Orlando Hernandez.
All different countries, too.
Wow. Oh, look out. Everybody's all right as it went sailing over the Devil Ray dugout. Mike Kelly does not want to make the last out. He's putting some kind of tough at bat. He's gone through 2 bats against Mike Stanton. All calm on the Yankee bench. He is having some at bat. Well, he was, we mentioned earlier in the game, the 2nd player picked overall in the 1991 draft. The potential has always been there for Mike Kelly. He has yet to play up to it, but he's still just 28 years old.
Well, nobody likes to make that last out in a ball game.
We're going to see who's going to wear out first, Stanton, Mike Kelly, or the fans that are getting up with the 2-strike count. If he does get on, Dave Martinez would be next. Got it. Finally, he blows a high fastball by Mike Kelly. Mike Stanton caps it off. Not a save situation. You see Joe Torre, I think he maybe wants the ball or the lineup card or something to give to El Duque for a souvenir. And that's exactly what Larry McCoy is going to do. He's going to sign it. Nice gesture. Joe very aware of what a treasure that would be for El Duque. 7 Ks, the solo home run to Fred McGriff. Couldn't ask for a better script. And El Duque is coming back out to share in this. He's not going to miss this.
He's got the ball.
He's got the ball. He's got the lineup card. He's got the money, and he's got the win.
And he's got New York for one night.
And he's got a great smile. You got to love it.
What a story.
Baseball like you dreamed it would be. And we've got a lot more to talk about on Madison Square Garden Network. When we come back, the Yankees win it 7-1. El Duque gets the win.
Reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Boy, it's been a great night in the Bronx. We're glad you've been with us. Let's check out the game summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Devil Rays got on the board first, but that's the only run they got. Fred McGriff's home run. 7-8-0 for the Yankees, 1-5-0 for the Devil Rays. Orlando El Duque Hernandez with 7 innings of 5-hit baseball, just 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. Scott Brocious with a hitting star, 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. And the longest string of unbeaten series for the Yankees, 21 of them, since the 1970 New York, or Cincinnati Reds, rather. And this has been some kind of night. I mean, sometimes you have a script and you hope it comes true, and when you see what happens tonight, you got to feel good about it for baseball.
Well, we heard all the hoopla down in the minor leagues with El Duque. He was undefeated. He's still undefeated after a win in the big leagues. 6-0 at AAA level for Columbus. And, you know, we read every night. We were reading his lines every night where he struck out so many in the minor leagues and pitched very well. But you still have to see it for yourself against top competition. Tampa Bay Devil Rays, certainly an expansion team, but a major league team at that. It had some big hitters like Fred McGriff and Wade Boggs. And it looked like he knew what he was doing right from the start. A lot of control, a lot of poise. Everything we heard about seems to be true, and certainly he picks up his first win. I guess it's a storybook night for everybody who's a Yankee fan.
It really is. I don't think we're ready to put the plaque in Monument Park yet, but you have to be impressed by coming out from what he's been through the last 7 or 8 months and coming out to the stadium tonight just acting like he'd pitched here before, and some kind of performance. It's going to be interesting to see what the Yankees do with their pitching rotation, because they have so many quality starters. Without El Duque, it's going to be pretty tough not to send him to the mound.
Yeah, the thing about it, though, with Joe Torre getting that lineup card and having Larry McCoy, the home plate umpire, signing it and giving him the ball, I think that there's going to be a return trip to Columbus. But, you know, if anything happens, he's going to be back soon. They talked about him coming up around the All-Star break to begin with, whether it was starting or go to the bullpen or whatever. I'm sure he'd rather be in the big leagues as a reliever than in the minor leagues as a starter. I think that'd be true for any pitcher.
You know, there was a lot of talk of him hooking up this weekend with his brother Livan Hernandez, who pitched today and lost to the Cubs, and that's not going to happen. But Livan on his way to New York, I'm sure they're going to have a terrific conversation tonight. Just one little bit of down news for the Yankees if you joined us late. Derek Jeter had to leave the game with that strained abdominal muscle, and the guys on the post-game show will probably have a little report of his availability for the next game or two. But right now, who else? The hero of the night, El Duque, is standing by with Al Trotweg. Al?
All right, Jimmy, and we have enlisted the complete battery, and Jorge Posada can talk about his contribution and also act as a translator. First of all, Jorge, offer congratulations. I mean, for all the pressure and attention placed upon him, he was outstanding tonight.
Que te felicita y te dice que fuiste increíble, que tuviste un buen juego.
Gracias. That's a simple response. Now, he just had hugs for Joe Cubas, his agent, and it looked as though it was a very emotional moment for him. What kinds of emotions did he go through tonight?
Dice que cuando estabas afuera le diste un abrazo a tu agente Joe Cubas y que fue un poquito, ¿sabes? Te echaste de lágrimas y que fue emocionante. Que le describas qué pasó.
Bueno, Joe Cubas para nosotros y para mí ha sido el padre que no tengo aquí en los Estados Unidos. Creo que sin él no hubiera sido posible hasta donde he llegado. Creo que significa mucho para mí.
He said Joe Cubas is for us and for me. It's been the father that has been here. You know, the guy that made all this happen. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be right here talking to y'all, and it's a very exciting night, and he's really going to share this for a long time.
Jorge, talk to me about his stuff. I mean, great breaking ball. The curveball was right where you set the target up. What was it? What can you tell us about it?
Well, they told me before the game that he was a breaking ball pitcher. So I went to the bullpen a little earlier than I usually go, so just to see what kind of stuff he had, and he did have a curveball. I mean, curveball was down, changeup was down. He had a slider. I mean, he was spotting the fastball. He kept the guys off balance, and
he had an unbelievable fastball. I think it was in the 7th inning that it seemed as though he reached back and put a little something into it. Does he remember that one?
Que dice que si te acuerdas de las rectas como el 7º inning que le tiraste un poquito, que tuviste un poquito más de velocidad que en los otros innings.
No sé. Siempre trato de hacer lo posible, que la recta vaya lo más duro posible y la curva tirarla donde hay que tirarla, donde debo tirarla.
He said, yeah, he reached back a little bit, but he always want to throw the fastball, a little harder and keep the guys off balance. And the curveball was sharp today. He kept it, threw it for a strike a lot.
Can he talk about the experience of being accepted by the team, because that seemed to be a very easy process?
Que ¿Cómo fue la experiencia de los peloteros, como te dejaron, que te dieron la bienvenida? ¿Cómo sentiste el equipo?
Bueno, ya el equipo me había dado una bienvenida en el sprint training, y ahora que una vez más me demuestran que no solo tienen calidad deportiva, sino que también tienen calidad humana.
He said that in spring training they did welcome, when he got there to spring training, but when he got here, he found out the quality of people that this team got. They welcome him right away. They went out of his way to say hello to him and welcome him to the team.
One last thing, how old were you, El Duque, when you first dreamed of coming and playing for the New York Yankees? How old?
¿A qué edad tú sentiste que tú, tenías el sueño de ser un Yankee o habías soñado en algo así como esta noche?
Bueno, yo juego béisbol desde los 8 años, pero ya cuando tuve mayor sentido de mi raciocinio, el equipo de los Yankees es el equipo que siempre se ha escuchado en Cuba. Y los Yankees, y bueno, y por ahí mi familia también era yanquista, y ahí le fui a los Yankees. La poca comunicación que teníamos allá de los juegos de aquí, el poco conocimiento, y creo que en Cuba entrenaba con una camisa de los Yankees, y creo que Dios existe, puesto que hoy me tiene aquí con el traje de los Yankees.
He said when he was 8 years old, that's when he remembered
8 years old
when he started playing baseball, and he said a little later, the whole family was involved with the Yankees. That was their favorite team, and when he was growing up, he had a Yankee T-shirt that he used to practice with when he was a little younger.
And he wasn't nervous. He didn't appear nervous.
Que si te sentiste nervioso o estuviste nervioso en algún tiempo de juego.
No nervioso, no. Simplemente que tenía una responsabilidad, tenía un compromiso conmigo mismo y con mi familia y con toda la comunidad hispana, y además con el equipo. Tenía un compromiso la responsabilidad era grande, puesto que estaba suplantando a David Cohn, un pitcher de muchos años, de mucha experiencia, para mí uno de los mejores. Yo soy seguidor de David Cohn, me gusta cómo él lanza en su juego, pero sí quiero agradecer al equipo el gran apoyo que me dio, y que espero que me sigan apoyando así, y en un futuro, ya esto lo dice, esto es un deporte colectivo.
He said he felt responsible for the Hispanic community and responsible for himself. He wasn't really nervous, but he wanted to to fulfill David Cohn's shoes a little bit, and he says he's a follower of David Cohn. He always appreciated the way he pitches and stuff. He'd like to imitate a little bit of David Cohn, and he'd like to take this this moment to say thank you to the Yankees and to the people in in Cuba, and especially to Joe Cubas.
Jorge, thank you very much.
No quiero antes de despedirnos, no, disculpe, estoy un poco emocionado, pero quiero dedicar este juego a mi mamá.
He said he wants to dedicate this game to his mom. He's getting a little nervous.
A mis dos hijas,
his 2 daughters.
A toda mi familia que está en Cuba,
and my family in Cuba.
La que está aquí en los Estados Unidos, y en general a toda la comunidad hispana y a todos los fans de los Yankees.
He said the whole fan, the people in Hispanic and the Cuban people in Here in the United States and down there in Cuba.
Well, we hope he is reunited with his daughters very soon.
Yeah, que espera que tú te vuelvas a encontrar con tu hija.
Lo sé.
Congratulations. All right, that's El Duque, and that's Jorge Posada. Big single with the bases loaded, helped provide the Yankees with the win. And now the Yankees have a bit of a small problem, and it's a good problem. Congratulations and our thanks to El Duque and Jorge Posada. We'll have lots more to come. Reaction from both clubhouses. 7-1 the final score. Bill Daughtry's at the MSG Sports Desk now in New York. We'll be back here at the stadium in a moment.
Thank you, Al Troutwig. Good story indeed, but a bad story for the Mets tonight in Pittsburgh. No tornado or anything, just lots of good Pirate pitching, and the Bucks with a 3-0 win, running the Mets out of town with a 3-game winning streak. Also later tonight, we'll tell you all about the NHL Stanley Cup Western Finals. Detroit going for the clincher tonight down in Dallas. That game all tied up at 2-2 there in overtime. Game 1 of the NBA Finals underway, third quarter at the Delta Center. Bulls do not have home court advantage this year, and they don't have the lead in this game right now. 49-45, Jazz in front. Michael Jordan had 20 points at the half. We'll have more for you right after these commercial messages at the Sports Desk.
Let me tell you something about heroes. They ain't like you and me. Look at Griffey, the way he taps the spikes and grows the tee, punches the glove and flips the lid, signs the hat, eats the dirt, and twirls the lumber, warms it up and works the crowd. The way he holds the pose, slams the wall, anticipates, and always thanks his mother. Let me tell you about guys like him. They ain't just playing stick.
This is Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. with Reality Bat for Infinite Swings. It's only on N64, only on Nintendo Sports.
The world is at your fingertips, and so is Globe Motor Car. World-class styling just around the corner. Come in and experience the all-new Globe Motor Car with our newly expanded showroom, sales, and service center. Let us work with you to find the best deals now. Whatever your style, when it comes to Mercedes, Globe Motor Car makes a world of difference. Located just 3 miles west of Willowbrook Mall, 1230 Bloomfield Avenue, Fairfield, 227-3600.
Later tonight on our Late Show, we'll talk about the arrival of hopeful Belmont champion, Real Quiet, and number 99, the old sack dancer. He checked in at his old haunt out in Hofstra. Mark Gastineau, you think he can come back? We'll tell you later on tonight. Right now, we take you back to the stadium after these commercial messages.
You'll find it easy to get to,
but very hard to leave. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
We keep the line short and the action non-stop. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
Everybody wins at these tables. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
We'll make every visit one you'll remember. It's the Mohegan Sun way.
Exit 76 off I-95 in Connecticut. Like no place on earth. Come experience
the Mohegan Sun way.
Homeowners, this is Phil Rizzuto. For years, I've been telling you where to get the money you need. Today, the smart choice is National Finance. It's fast, it's free, and there's no obligation. Call 1-800-LOAN-NFC.
No matter what your credit is or how much equity you have in your home, NFC has a loan program for you. And NFC is lending millions of dollars a day.
Dial 1-800-LOAN-NFC. The money you need when you need it. 1-800-LOAN-NFC.
The City Hawks have landed. Catch all the nonstop action as the Garden Zone battle it out against the Tampa Bay Storm. Saturday night on MSG.
Evander Holyfield is a battle-tested warrior. He's beaten everyone from George Foreman to Mike Tyson. But now he's got another war on his hands against 6'7" Henry Akinwande. He's the #1 contender and wants to be champion again. Holyfield versus Akinwande. Plus, Jaffe versus Durant, Johnny Tapia, and Christy Martin. D-Day at the Garden, Saturday, June 6th. Tickets on sale now at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster outlets.
Yankee baseball on MSG, non-stop action.
It's deep, it is gone!
Tough pitching and the most powerful lineup in baseball. Every cannon, every heater, every slide, and every dinger from every angle. We're all over it.
He puts it away, and David Wells has pitched a perfect game.
Nobody brings you more excitement than the Bronx Bombers, and nobody brings you the Bombers like MSG.
Once again on this memorable night in Yankee Stadium, the final score, the Yankees 7, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays 1. El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, with his first big league win. Coming up next, our Tri-State Jeep and Eagle post-game report. There will be a lot of feedback from his pitching performance as well as an update on Derek Jeter's injury. We'll be with you next Tuesday from Montreal here on MSG, starting with our New York City Marriott's Yankees scorecard show at 6:30 when the Yankees play the Montreal Expos. Well, he had a little hop in his step from the time he walked in the stadium. And El Duque did not disappoint us. Wade Boggs with a very warm reception from the Yankee Stadium crowd of over 27,000. But the rest of the night belonged to the Yankees. Scott Brosius with 4 RBIs. El Duque with 7 strikeouts on a variety of pitches. We thank him for an enjoyable night. Leon Schweier, Bill Webb, Eddie Caginelli, and our entire MSG crew. Jim Cott for Ken Singleton saying, so long, everyone.
New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by The Dive, the bank that's with you all the way. By the 68,000 professionals at Delta Airlines. By the Discover Card. By your Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center.
When Earl and I got our new Mitsubishi big screen, we had no idea the number of visitors we would receive. Children suddenly returned home with their children. Neighbors we'd never met.
Neighbor.
Then it dawned on me. They really weren't coming to see me at all. They just wanted my popcorn.
At Nobody Beats the Wiz, buy any Mitsubishi big screen and pay nothing for 12 months.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
While chasing felons, the level of Snapple in a person's body can dip dangerously low, but no longer. Thanks to the new Snapple Time Release Patch. This revolutionary patch evenly disperses Snapple into a body over time, so you can continue any normal daily activity, confident that your S level will remain constant until regular beverage intake can be resumed, virtually eliminating the difficult choice between fighting crime and enjoying Snapple. The best stuff is in here.
When you ship with Priority Mail, it's a great way to save money. But what about other parts of the world? There's Global Priority Mail. And here's the best part. Give us a few days more, and you can save up to 70% over FedEx or UPS. So, what's your global priority? Try Global Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
This is an El Duque edition of the Jeep and Eagle post-game report. It's brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Well, El Duque's career, Orlando Hernandez, off to a flying start. He pitches 7 innings and strikes out 7, electrified the crowd, and the Yankees provided 7 runs of support. Mike Stanton was outstanding, pitching the 8th and 9th innings, and Mr. Saunders of Tampa Bay is now 1-6. The Yankees put a big 5-run spot up in the 4th, and that was his undoing here at Yankee Stadium tonight. They expected 21,000. They got 27 and change, meaning El Duque brought an extra 6,000 fans to Yankee Stadium tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Troutwick back in our MSG studios down the hall from what is a very happy clubhouse. And you know, a person is defined what their eyes have seen in their life. That's their perspective. And when you consider for a moment that El Duque has seen all the fields of the world with the Cuban national team, but when he was taken off the team in 1996, what he saw for the next 2 years was the inside of a psychiatric center and a paycheck of somewhere between $5 and $8 a month working in rehabilitation in that hospital. He also said goodbye to his daughters and saw the tears in their eyes on a wide open Atlantic Ocean, not knowing if he would ever make it safely. He saw that uninhabited island that had not a person, not a speck of water, not anything on it. And he also saw the Yankees offer him $6 million. It's going to be a movie someday. There is no doubt about it. And maybe this was a perfect final monumental scene in the life of El Duque, this performance tonight at Yankee Stadium, where his boyhood dream comes true on the mound here in the house that Ruth built. Here are the highlights in what was a night to remember here at Yankee Stadium. Of course, a lot of the early focus in the Discover payback was El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, at the age of 29 or 32 or whatever it is. Who cares? Because he got started early, and the fans were behind him big time. He kept the ball low, as Jorge Posada said. Fred McGriff, though, was able to solve him after this good sequence. Paul Sorrento there in the top of the fourth. That was his one big mistake, and Fred McGriff hit his first road home run of the season. So the Tampa Bay Devil Rays led in a blink 1-0. But the Yankees responded, and they hit Tony Saunders hard in the fourth. Derek Jeter leads off with a shot over the head of Mike Kelly in left. He opens with his 5th triple of the season. Jeter was off and flying to third base. Now the very next batter is Paul O'Neill. And you know what he does with runners in scoring position? You got it. Drills a single up the middle, and Jeter comes in to score. So the game is tied at 1 just like that. After a Chad Curtis walk to load the bases, and we're going to talk about that later, Jorge Posada helps out the man he caught all night. It was 3-1 Yankees as Paul O'Neill and Tim Raines both score. The very next batter, Scott Brocious. He drills a shot to center field over the head of Quentin McCracken. Curtis and Posada score, and that was your ball game right there because it was 5-1. So the stadium was roaring, and we jumped to the bottom of the 6th. Brocious strikes again, this time with another double down the left field line, driving in Tino and Curtis. And that was unneeded insurance, but a very impressive night for Brocious nonetheless. 2 big hits, 7-1 Yankees in the top of the 7th. El Duque gets his 7th strikeout. Mike DeFelice reaching and hoping. And El Duque got a lot of high fives in the dugout, and that's when Joe Torre handed it over to Mike Stanton, who was a 1-2-3 pitcher in the 8th and a 1-2-3 pitcher in the 9th. El Duque is 1-0. 7-1 your final score here as we'll continue on the Jeep and Eagle post-game report. But first, let's get an update on what's happening elsewhere with Bill Daughtry at the MSG Sports Desk. We'll hear from Joe Torre and hear from Michael Kay as well.
Well, thank you, Al Troutwig. What we'll call the wild card bowl. It got underway tonight at Fenway Park. The Baltimore Orioles, they strike first blood against the Boston Red Sox. They beat Boston tonight by a 3-0 score. Other games tonight in the American League, and there were several to tell you about. Toronto playing it in almost National League time. 2 hours, 9 minutes. Roger Clemens handling the Detroit Tigers 5-1. Things a lot calmer tonight in Kansas City. The White Sox, however, leading the Royals 10-5. That ball game in the 9th inning. Maglio Ordonez with 4 RBI for the Pale Hose. Minnesota, they came up with a 3-2 victory over the Cleveland Indians despite home runs by Justice and Alomar. Texas and Oakland, that ball game 1-0. The Rangers lead it in the first inning. Aaron Seeley pitching for Texas. Anaheim and Seattle, they're also underway. The big unit, Randy Johnson going against Finley in the battle of lefties. Scoreless the ball game in the 2nd inning. Well, the New York Mets, they had that marvelous 9-game winning streak, and then they go to Pittsburgh, drop 1, drop 2, and they were hoping to get out of there and go into interleague play without a losing streak, but it's not going to happen. Mets dropped their 3rd straight tonight at Three River Stadium, 3-0 your final score in that ball game. With the rest of the National League scoreboard tonight, it went like this. It was Chicago over the Florida Marlins, 5-1. Kerry Wood with his 5th straight win, and the Marlins, they're the Yankees' first interleague opponent this weekend. San Francisco, they beat Cincinnati 8-5. Brian Johnson with a home run in that ball game. He had his 8th of the year and 3 runs batted in. It was Atlanta taking Milwaukee again, 5-2. Tommy Glavine the winner, and the save for Mark Wohlers. Nilsson with the loss, he goes to 0-4. He struck out 0-4 and left 7 men on base. Montreal, a 3-2 victory over Philadelphia tonight. Perez with the win, and Guerrero with a home run, his 10th of the year. White also had a home run in that ball game, Rondell White. Arizona with a 2-1 lead over Colorado, the ball game in the 8th. St. Louis underway against the LA Dodgers. No Mark McGwire, 1-0 Cardinals lead. And Houston and San Diego scoreless the ball game in the 2nd inning. All smiles, tears, and congratulations. Just a happy time at the stadium tonight. And we'll go back up to the Bronx to recap the Yankees win after these messages.
You are watching the Jeep and Eagle post-game report, brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Jeep Cherokee has always been the perfect getaway vehicle, but
now, look what you can get away with. The $279 a month Jeep Cherokee lease, where you get 190 horses, automatic transmission, and always capable four-wheel drive. Plus now these extras, including air conditioning at no extra charge. The $279 a month Jeep Cherokee lease. A great deal to get away with when you really want to get away from it all. Check out this $279 lease at your dealer.
New York Yankees baseball on MSG. The Yanks go interleague at the stadium against the Montreal Expos after New York City Marriott scorecard Tuesday night on MSG.
There are millions of people out there who manage their own money. At Waterhouse, I think we are particularly proud that our commission rates are among the lowest of any nationwide discount broker. You take a trade of 200 shares at $25. Schwab will charge you $89. Fidelity charges $88.50, and Quicken Riley charges $60.50. Our commission is $35. That's a big difference.
See how much Waterhouse can save you. Call this number now for this free brochure.
Price may bring a lot of customers in the door of Waterhouse Securities, but what keeps them here is service. We can execute a market order within 3 to 6 seconds. We provide a free Standard & Poor's stock guide. We offer 1,500 to 1,600 no-load mutual funds. We're a member of the New York Stock Exchange. We have over 120 offices around the country. We give them the price, we bring them in the door, and then we give them outstanding service.
Call this number for a free brochure comparing rates and services, and start saving money now.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Fox Sports News, prime time. 82 games to win the home court advantage. But does it really matter? Tonight, home sweet home, what it means in the NBA playoffs. Tonight at midnight.
This portable Iowa music system features a dual CD changer, double cassette deck, digital tuner, remote control, and Q sound for 3D enhancement. Call 1-800-BUY-IOWA.
From a human standpoint, an outstanding achievement by the man known as El Duque. Orlando Hernandez is 1-0. The Yankees win the ball game 7-1. And Joe Torre and the rest of the Yankees now have to think about, what do they do? This guy looks great. Let's go into the manager's office with Michael Kay.
I guess the question is, how are you going to keep him down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
Well, you know, you make a spot for him. I mean, he'll be here tomorrow. There's nothing he can do down there for 5 days anyway. But he did a hell of a job. There's no question. He kept them off balance. And for a lineup that had a lot of left-hand hitters, that would have been the one question mark I would have had, and he answered it.
Is there a chance that he stays in the rotation somehow, some way?
Well, there's always a chance if that phone rings and somebody tells me that's what we're going to do. You know, you got the wrong guy. I'm not the boss here. But as of right now, you know, I don't anticipate that happening.
Was he everything that you had heard, scouting report-wise, or even better?
No, he's about what, you know, because I got a detail every time he pitched from Billy Connors. He'd call me the day he pitched, the night he pitched, and he'd run me through it. He didn't hit anybody tonight. That's been a little different than his starts down there. But he had a lot of poise. I was, you know, a little apprehensive in the first inning, but when I saw strike one a lot of times, it made me feel pretty good.
You have to temper the way you judge him right now and say, well, the Devil Rays had never seen him before. Is there some of that in there?
Well, not really, because, I mean, you have McGriff. Sure, McGriff hit a home run, but he got him out a couple of times, too, and Sorrento. I mean, these guys have been on championship clubs. And, you know, and Martinez is good hitters. And no, they had some quality left-hand hitters, Wade Boggs. You know, he got them out, and basically from changing speeds. I mean, that's the way, if you have control, you're going to be successful changing speeds the way he has.
Time now for Michael Kay's Clubhouse Report. It's brought to you by the New York Marriott Marquis, which is Broadway's biggest hit. Yes, this is a pleasant problem for the New York Yankees. What to do with El Duque? What do you think that they're going to do?
I think they'll send him back down.
Do you really?
I really do, because that was the word before the game, and everything that you heard was, even if he pitches great,
but for what?
He's
Mike?
going down.
Obviously, he doesn't need seasoning.
I agree. I think I would keep him. What I would do is I would keep him up here, and I think Ramiro is much better in the bullpen than anybody they'd bring up, better than Buddy, better than Erdos, and it really strengthens both areas. But, you know, Ramiro's also pitched well in the rotation, so it's a really tough call. I think they'll just give him a couple more starts in Columbus, and now the Yankees know they have somebody down there. Also, what this tells the Yankees, there's really no need to pursue a Hideo Nomo, and don't go out on a limb to get a Randy Johnson. You know, you've got a starter down there that teams would kill for, and he's your 6th starter, so the Yankees at least know that this guy could pitch up here.
I am totally, just when I watch him pitch, blown away by the things that he's gone through to get here. It's unbelievable.
You know what blows me away, and we talked about this on the radio side, that there's actually a place in this world where you can't go where you want to go and do what you want to do. And you imagine how many people are in Cuba that can play baseball and that can help a team like this guy could. And, you know, forget about the athletic part of it, that there's some place in this world that the only crime that you have is that you're born into that situation and you can't leave. And that's what this guy went through.
And to a man, the reason that the Yankees have embraced this guy, literally putting their arms around him, is because they all know what he's gone through just simply to play the game. Well, David Cone had, of course, missed this start for El Duque to get this chance because of that darn dog Victoria that bit him in the hand.
Veronica.
Oh, what did I say?
Victoria.
Oh, that's another dog. Veronica's the dog who's now back in Florida with David's mom. David Cone, of course, can appreciate good pitching as much as anybody, and he offers this concise opinion about El Duque.
David, are you wondering what Veronica wrought tonight?
It's so ironic, but just what a great story. What a feel-good story. I mean, Orlando was so poised out there and so mature. He was really impressive.
I mean, when you look at him, it's hard to say he's a rookie, but do you wonder, gee, what more is out there in Cuba that could probably be stars in the major leagues?
Oh, there's no doubt. There's some untapped talent down there, and really across the world. I think baseball's kind of missed the boat globally, and they're starting to pick up on the notion, and a lot more scouting overseas, and I think you're going to see more and more of a global game.
All right, now you watched him a little bit in spring training. Now you get to see him in a big league ball game. Give your scouting report of what he's about.
Well, he just has that presence on the mound, and he has a real good feel for pitching. He has great command of his breaking stuff, and he can throw it almost in any count over for strikes. And he just really looked like he knew what he was doing, and he just looked so mature and so poised out there.
Do you wonder how they send him down after this?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, I'm glad I'm not Joe Torre or Brian Cashman right now, because obviously he made a really impressive showing tonight.
David, of course, had a great line. He said, you know, thinking of El Duque, Wally Pipp comes to mind, but I don't think he's losing his start. Now,
I don't think it's David. I think it's Ramiro.
Let's go to the subplot here, which on any other night would be the biggest headline you could bring to any sort of post-game discussion about the Yankees. But Derek Jeter, trying to check a swing on a 3-1 pitch, came up, and Winston, a lot of pain, hurt his side. What's the latest?
Well, they say it's an abdominal pull, and Joe Torre said that in all likelihood tomorrow Derek Jeter is going to be put on the 15-day DL. He told me just moments ago the reason they're doing this is to protect Derek against Derek. And here's the play right here. A simple check swing. You never know when it's going to happen. And there it is. You could see him wince. And for Derek Jeter to come out of the game, which he did after taking the field the next inning, tells you how much he was hurt. And, you know, everybody talks about the Yankee depth, which is incredible. I think it's the best depth in baseball. But the one thing that people say the Yankees can't afford to lose, or the one person, is Derek Jeter. And, you know, Joe Torre said, I would agree with that until Luis Sojo came back. He said, yes, we're going to miss the flair and we'll miss the hitting. He said, but Sojo can play shortstop. He will make the plays for us at shortstop, so that will lessen the blow just a bit. But I think they'll miss Derek Jeter quite a bit. He's been on an absolute tear. Yeah. And as much as people don't like to admit it, Al, you could see it in the clubhouse. He's 23 years old, but he's a leader of that team, and it's going to be tough for him to lead from the bench, and you know he's just going to go stir crazy on the DL.
All right, that'll be a big topic for tomorrow to see what Derek Jeter's condition is. Meanwhile, when this game started, there was so much going on. The bleacher creatures were yelling. El Duque got the first couple of outs, and then Wade Boggs stepped to the plate and received a resounding ovation. We'll show you that and hear from Wade Boggs as he tells us what he thought of El Duque as we continue on the Jeep and Eagle post-game report.
The world is at your fingertips, and so is Globe Motor Car. World-class styling just around the corner. Come in and experience the all-new Globe Motor Car with our newly expanded showroom, sales, and service center. Let us work with you to find the best deals now. Whatever your style, when it comes to Mercedes, Globe Motor Car makes a world of difference. Located just 3 miles west of Willowbrook Mall, 1230 Bloomfield Avenue, Fairfield, 227-3600.
When the Hall of Fame comes up, it's baseball elites. It means a lot to anyone who plays professional sports to have something of theirs in the Hall of Fame. We went a couple years ago, and I got a chance to walk through it and look at some of the things that were on display. It was a lot of fun being there. Small town, and you know, you just don't expect something that small to have the impact that it does over the nation, and it does.
Are you in the zone?
You know, the soccer zone.
Soccer Zone is the action-packed soccer show made just for you and your team.
We've got skills, drills, college, MLS, and USA Pros.
Plus kids of all ages, coaches, referees, and so much more.
If you like soccer,
you'll love Soccer Zone.
Living in New York and playing in New York, I mean, it's a great place to play. I love Yankee Stadium. I love the fans there. Right when I came in, the team was getting better. Good people were brought in, and it's been a lot of fun. As long as I can continue to play and hopefully play well. Being in this situation in New York where we have a chance to win year after year, I want to continue to play, but I don't want to hang on to this game just to play. We just can't show up and expect to win. There's other good teams out there that are just as confident as we are. I love our chances of winning again.
You have been watching the Jeep and Eagle post-game report, brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
So what did everybody think of El Duque and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays locker room? First, you've got Larry Rothschild, their manager, who was Livan Hernandez's pitching coach last year with the Florida Marlins. And you've got Wade Boggs, simply one of the greatest hitters of our time. When Wade Boggs stepped to the plate, the Yankee fans told him they remember 1996. Let's listen to both men's comments.
Well, it's the nicest thing that a returning player could ever ask for. It just shows how classy the New York fans are, and it gave me a warm feeling inside and a big smile, and I've said it all along that New York fans are fabulous, and they proved it tonight.
What do you think of El Duque?
It's hard to make a judgment on a guy that you only have 3 at-bats off of. He threw strikes, got all of his pitches over when he needed to, and never really got in trouble. So he did what he was called upon to do, is to spot start for Coney, and he did a great job.
Larry, you've worked with a lot of great pitchers in your time as a pitching coach. What did you think of Orlando Hernandez?
Well, I thought he threw the ball well. He moved a fastball in and out and established a breaking ball behind the count and things like that. But, you know, time is going to tell more than anything else. So, you know, we'll see. Tonight was a good night for him, and, you know, he threw the ball well.
Did he pitch to the scouting report you got on him?
Well, he was over the top a little bit more than I had thought, and really threw the breaking ball more over the top. But basically, all the stuff as far as what we heard was true, and you know, it's basically what we had heard is what we saw.
Final thing, any similarities to his brother Livan?
Not really. I mean, Livan's straight over the top. He's more 3/4. But you know, Livan told me last year that he thought that Orlando had a better curveball than he did, and actually I think it taught him his curveball. So he respects him a lot and knew that he was a good pitcher.
And finally, in the midst of all these storylines, the Yankees won a baseball game, and they did it in impressive fashion once again. Now, Mike doesn't agree with this, but the rest of us applaud sometimes the subtleties of the game, like a long at-bat that brings up a Jorge Posada to deliver a single and 2 RBIs. But Chad Curtis's at-bat in that 4th inning where the Yankees got 5 was big.
I think I agree with you. We were joking before, but he sees a lot of pitches, and I think everybody in this lineup does, and that behooves the guy right behind him because they get to see the entire arsenal of the pitcher, and you're also wearing the pitcher down just a little bit. He throws pitch after pitch, and he's trying to throw every single pitch he has, and he is wearing down. And then there's a letdown with Posada up next.
And Chad Curtis also had an outstanding night in the field. In left field, he made a couple of really impressive catches. But right there, he gets Tony Saunders to walk him. And the next batter was Jorge Posada, who brought in the 2 runs, and that was in the midst of the big inning. So,
and you know what's funny about this Yankee lineup is you look at the bottom 2 guys in the order, Posada and Brocious. And Brocious has 4 ribbies. Posada has 2, so 6 of the 7 right there. And the one thing with this Yankee team, it's really not a lineup 1 to 9. It's circular after the first inning because you could start it anywhere. Anybody could lead off. Anybody could hit cleanup. And a lot of people are going to drive in a lot of runs this year.
And the 9th guy in the order is hitting .330. Yep. So that's all you need to know. Tomorrow, it's Hideki Irabu's turn, and this little United Nations called the New York Yankees will be playing the Tampa Bay Devil Rays once again. With Michael Kay, I'm Al Troutwig. Thanks for joining us for the Jeep and Eagle post-game report on MSG. The final line for El Duque, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, and he scatters 5 hits. After that, Mike Stanton shut down Tampa Bay. The next time we see you will be from Montreal. It's the first time we go to the Big O. New York City Marriott's Yankee Scorecard begins our coverage at 6:30. Coming up next, it's the latest with Bill Daughtry at the MSG Sports Desk. He'll tell you who's doing what as far as the NBA Finals are concerned. And then the full recap from the national picture on Fox Sports News. Michael Kay will be reporting on
Joe Torre.
Joe Torre. So that programming note for you tonight on MSG. And with that most unique motion, Orlando Hernandez El Duque took to the mound because David Cohn got bit by Veronica. And Derek Jeter helped out. This, of course, before he strained his side. He could wind up on the disabled list, so this was a costly win. A night that brought this man emotionally to tears when it was over. He's left so much behind, but he's got so much in front of him. And that was the moment that cost Derek Jeter, perhaps, some playing time in the days ahead. Scott Brocious had a couple of big hits, scoring some runs. Jorge Posada helped out as he caught El Duque in his major league debut. Leon Schweier is the producer of New York Yankees baseball, directed by Bill Webb. Replays with Andy Braun, graphics from Ed Cashinelli. And our thanks to intern Adam Geller, who somehow graduated from Hofstra. Thanks, Adam.
New York Yankees baseball on MSG. The Yanks go interleague at the stadium against the Montreal Expos after New York City Marriott Scorecard Tuesday night on MSG.
And good evening to you. Bill Daughtry at the MSG Sports Desk, the half-hour show for a busy Wednesday night. We begin, of course, with baseball. After that 9-game winning streak, the New York Mets have now dropped 3 in a row. Pirates with the hat trick tonight at Three Rivers. The number 3 is Wild. They end the 3-game sweep with a 3-0 win. Well, it was fans who survived yesterday's rough weather in Pittsburgh. Rick Reed also survived. Bottom of the first, greeted by Jermaine Allensworth. First pitch of the game, a lead-off 3-base hit. The very next batter, after Butch Husky gets it in and Allensworth slides safely into third base, the next batter up will be Al Martin, and he's going to come up with this little oops ground ball down to first base. Well, John Olerud's going to make the play there, and Allensworth will come home with the first run of the game. Pirates up 1-0. Top of the fourth, Pittsburgh still in front. John Lieber was tough. Mike Piazza, he can't catch up with that fastball. And then there was John Olerud making a cameo appearance because he has a have-a-seat fastball. Send him back to the dugout. Top of the fifth inning, the Pirates as they count up the K's. Jose Guillen, he swings a hot bat. He hits one over Becker's head there in right center field. Becker with the fine play on the carom, but oops, Guillen falls down at first. At least it looked like he fell down as he pulls into second with a double. Mets say, wait a minute, let's appeal. I don't think he stepped on first. The umpire says you're absolutely right. Jose Guillen punched out. I'll let you be the judge. You watch the replay. Says here, Guillen missed first base, clearly missed first base there. The second-year play with the Beef doesn't work. Then we move on to Aramis Ramirez in the bottom of the seventh. He breaks an 0-for-24 slump. The rookie with a bomb off Greg McMichael. A 2-run double, his first base hit in the majors. Pirates take a 3-0 lead. That was with a 2-out situation Ramirez delivering there. They win the ball game 3-0. Kerry Wood and the Chicago Cubs, they were in sweep mode against the Marlins this afternoon. Bottom of the fourth, Scott Service giving Wood and company the cushion. That's a double to left, and it scores Blauser and Hernandez, a double off Hernandez, Livan Hernandez, and the Cubs with a 2-1 lead. Then the top of the eighth, Kerry Wood, he's still good. Mark Kotsay, the rookie, you can't hit that ball, son. A strikeout, his 9th of the day. He finished with 8 innings pitched, 5 hits. Kerry Wood, his 5th straight win, a 5-1 win for those feisty Chicago Cubs. With the rest of that National League scoreboard, it was the San Francisco Giants. They stay hot. They beat Cincinnati this afternoon 8-5. Brian Johnson still swinging the hot bat. His 6th home run in 9 games. His 8th home run of the year. Had 3 RBI on the day. The Atlanta Braves, they beat the Milwaukee Brewers again today. No throwback this time. Tommy Glavine picks up his 8th win. Dave Nilsson 0 for 4. He struck out and left 7 men on base in the loss. It was Guerrero and White with the home run power. Montreal beats Philadelphia by a 3-2 count. Some later games for you. Arizona leading Colorado in the 9th 2-1. Travis Lee with a solo homer in the ball game for the Snakes. Dodgers and Cardinals tied at 1 in the 3rd. No Mark McGwire sitting out with the back problem. Ramon Martinez pitching for the Dodgers. San Diego and Houston, that ball game scoreless. Bergman against Hamilton. They are in the 3rd inning of play. Well, New York Yankees, they get El Duque off to a good start. We'll have a Bronx tale in the rest of the American League after this TV timeout.